This sandwich has no mayonnaise by J.D. Salinger. I am inside the truck, too, sitting on the protection strap, trying to keep out of the crazy Georgia rain, waiting for the lieutenant from Special Services, waiting to get tough. I'm scheduled to get tough any minute now. There are 34 men in this here vehicle, and only 30 are supposed to go to the dance. 4 must go. I plan to knife the first 4 men on my right, simultaneously singing, "Off we go into the wild blue yonder," at the top of my voice, to drown out their silly cries. Then I'll assign a detail of 2 men, preferably college graduates, to push them off this here vehicle into the good, wet Georgia red clay. It might be worth forgetting that I'm one of the 10 toughest men who ever sat in this protection strap. I could lick my weight in Bobbsey twins. 4 must go. From the truck of the same name. Choose your pant nubs for the Virginia reel. And the rain on the canvas tops comes down harder than ever. This rain is no friend of mine. It's no friend of mine and these other gents, 4 of whom must go. Maybe it's a friend of Katharine Hepburn's, or a Sarah Palfrey Fabin's, or Tom Heaney's, or of all the good, solid Greer Garson fans waiting in line at Radio City Music Hall. But it's no buddy of mine, this rain. It's no buddy of the other 33 men, 4 of whom must go. The character in the front of this truck yells at me again. "What?" I say. I can't hear him. The rain on the top is killing me. I don't even want to hear him. He says for the 3rd time, "Let's get this show on the road. Bring on the women." "Gotta wait for the lieutenant," I tell him. I feel my elbow getting wet and bring it in out of the downpour. Who swiped my raincoat? With all my letters in the left-hand pocket. My letters from Red, from Phoebe, from Holden. From Holden. Oh, listen, I don't care about the raincoat being swiped, but how about leaving my letters alone? He's only 19 years old, my brother is, and the dope can't reduce a thing to a humor. Kill it off with the sarcasm. Can't do anything but listen hectically to the maladjusted little apparatus he wears for a heart. Am I missing in action, brother? Why don't they leave people's raincoats alone? I've got to stop thinking about it. Think of something pleasant. Vincent, old troll, think about this truck. Make believe this is not the darkest, wettest, most miserable army truck you've ever ridden in. This truck, you've got to tell yourself, is full of roses and blondes and vitamins. This here is a real pretty truck. This is a swell truck. You were lucky to get this job tonight. When you get back from the dance, choose your pantners, folks. You can write an immortal poem about this truck. This truck is a potential poem. You can call it Trucks I Have Rode In, or War and Peace, or This Sandwich Has No Mayonnaise. Keep it simple. Oh, listen, rain. This is the 9th day you've been raining. How can you do this to me and these 33 men, 4 of whom must go? Let us alone. Stop making us sticky and lonely. Somebody is talking to me. The man is within knifing distance. 4 must go. "What?" I say to him. "Where are you from, Sarge?" the boy asks me. Your arm's getting wet. I take it in again. "New York," I tell him. "So am I. Whereabouts?" "Manhattan. Just a couple of blocks from the Museum of Art." "I live on Valentine Avenue," the boy says. "Know where that is?" "In the Bronx, isn't it?" "Nah, near the Bronx, but it isn't in it. It's still Manhattan." Near the Bronx, but it isn't in it. Let's remember that. Let's not go around telling people they live in the Bronx, when in the first place, they don't live there. They live in Manhattan. Let's use our head, buddy. Let's get on the ball, buddy. "How long have you been in the Army?" I asked the boy. He is a private. He is the soakingest, wettest private in the Army. 4 months. I come in through Dick's, and then they ship me down to Miami. Ever been to Miami? "No," I lie. "Pretty good?" "Pretty good." He nudges the guy on his right. "Tell him, Fergie." "What?" says Fergie, looking wet, frozen, and fouled. "Tell the Sarge about Miami. He wants to know if it's any good or not. Tell him." Fergie looks at me. "Ain't you never been there, Sarge?" "You poor miserable sap of a sergeant." No. Pretty good down there? I managed to ask. What a town, says Fergie softly. You could get anything you want down there. You could really amuse yourself. I mean, you could really amuse yourself. Not like this here hole. You couldn't amuse yourself in this here hole if you tried. We lived in a hotel, the boy from Valentine Avenue says. Before the war, you probably paid $5, $6 a day for a room in the hotel we was at. One room. Showers, says Fergie in a bittersweet tone, which Abelard, during his last years, might have used to mention Heloise's handle. You were all the times as clean as a kid. Down there, you had 4 guys to a room, and you had these showers in between. The soap was free in the hotel. Any kind of soap you wanted, not GI. You're alive, ain't you? The character in front of the truck yells at Fergie. I can't see his face. Fergie's above it all. Showers, he repeats. 2, 3 times a day I took 'em. I used to sell down there, a guy in the middle of the truck announces. I can barely see his face in the darkness. Memphis and Dallas are the best towns in Dixie for my dough. In the wintertime, Miami gets too crowded. It used to drive you crazy. In the places it was worth going, you could hardly get a seat or anything. It wasn't crowded when we was there, was it, Fergie? Asked the kid from Valentine Avenue. Fergie won't answer. He was all together with us in this discussion. He's not giving us his all. The man who likes Memphis and Dallas sees that, too. He says to Fergie, down here at this field, I'm lucky if I get a shower once a day. I'm in the one area on the west side of the field. All the showers aren't built yet. Fergie is not interested. The comparison is not apt. The comparison, I might and will say, stinks, May. From the front of the truck comes a dynamic and irrefutable observation. Not flying again tonight. Them cadets won't be flying again tonight, all right. The 8th day, no night flying. Fergie looks up with a minimum of energy. I ain't hardly seen a plane since I'm down here. My wife thinks I'm flying myself nuts. She writes and tells me I should get out of the Air Corps. She got me on a B-17 or something. She reads about Clark Gable, and she's got me a gunner or something with on a bomber. I ain't got the heart to tell her all I do is empty out stuff. What stuff? Says Memphis and Dallas, interested. Any stuff. Any stuff that gets filled up. Fergie forgets Miami for a minute and shoots Memphis and Dallas a withering look. Oh, said Memphis and Dallas, but before he could continue, Fergie turns to me. You should have seen them showers in Miami, Sarge. No kidding. You'd never want to take a bath on your own tub again. And Fergie turns away, losing interest in my fact, which is altogether understandable. Memphis and Dallas leans forward, anxiously addressing Fergie. I could get you a ride, he tells Fergie. I work at dispatchers. These here lieutenants, they take cross countries about once a month, and sometimes they don't already have a passenger in the back. I've been lots of times. Maxwell Field, everywhere. He points a finger at Fergie, as though accusing him of something. Listen, if you want to go sometime, give me a ring. Call dispatchers and ask for me. Porter's the name. Fergie looks phlegmatically interested. Yeah? Ask for Porter, huh? Corporal or something? Private, says Porter, just short of stiffly. Boy, said the kid from Valentine Avenue, looking past my head into the teeming blackness. Look at it come down. Where's my brother? Where's my brother Holden? What is this missing in action stuff? I don't believe it. I don't understand it. I don't believe it. The United States government is a liar. The government is lying to me and my family. I never heard such crazy liar's news. Why, he came through the war in Europe without a scratch. We all saw him before he shipped out to the Pacific last summer. And he looked fine. Missing. Missing, missing, missing. Lies. I'm being lied to. He's never been missing before. He's one of the least missing boys in the world. He's here in this truck. He's home in New York. He's at Penty Preparatory School. You send us the boy, we'll mold the man. All modern fireproof buildings. Yes, he's at Penty. He never left school. And he's at Cape Cod, sitting on the porch, biting his fingernails. And he's playing doubles with me, yelling at me to stay back at the baseline when he's at the net. Missing? Is that missing? Why lie about something as important as that? How can the government do a thing like that? What can they get out of it, telling lies like that? Hey, Sarge, yells the character in the front of the truck. Let's get this show on the road. Bring on the dames. How are the dames, Sarge? They good looking? I don't really know what this thing is tonight, I say. Usually they're pretty nice girls. That is to say, in other words, by the same token, usually everybody tries very, very hard. Everybody is in there pitching. The girls ask you where you come from, and you tell them, and they repeat the name of the city, putting an exclamation point at the end of it. Then they tell you about Douglas Smith, Corporal AUS. Doug lives in New York, and do you know him? You don't believe so, and you tell her about New York being a very big place. And because you didn't want Helen to marry a soldier and wait around for a year or 6, you go on dancing with this strange girl who knows Doug Smith, this strange, nice girl who's read every line Lloyd C. Douglas has written. While you dance and the band plays on, you think about everything in the world except music and dancing. You wonder if your little sister Phoebe is remembering to take your dog out regularly, and she's remembering not to jerk Joey's collar. The kid'll kill the dog someday. I never saw rain like this, the boy from Valentine Avenue says. You ever see it like this, Fergie? See what? Rain like this. Nah. Let's get this show on the road. Bring on the dames. The noisy guy leans forward, and I can see his face. He looks like everybody else in the truck. We all look alike. What's the Louis like, Sarge? It was the boy from near the Bronx. I don't really know, I say. He just hit the field a couple days ago. I heard that he lived right around here somewhere when he was a civilian. What a break. To live right near where you're at, says a boy from Valentine Avenue. If I was only at Mitchell Field, boy, half hour and I'm home. Mitchell Field, Long Island. What about that Saturday in the summer at Port Washington? Red says to me, it won't hurt you to see the fair either. It's very pretty. So I grabbed Phoebe, and she had some kid with her named Minerva, which killed me. And I put them both in the car, and then I looked around for Holden. I couldn't find him. So Phoebe and Minerva and I left without him. At the fair, we went to the Bell telephone exhibit, and I told Phoebe that this phone was connected to the author of the Elsie Fairfield books. So Phoebe, shaking like Phoebe, picked up the phone and trembles into it. Hello, this is Phoebe Caulfield and Child at the World's Fair. I read your books, and I think they are very excellent in spots. My mother and father are playing in Death Takes a Holiday in Great Neck. We go swimming a lot, but the ocean is better in Cape Cod. Goodbye. And then we came out of the building, and there was Holden with Hart and Kirky Morris. He had my terry cloth shirt on, no coat. He came over and asked Phoebe for her autograph, and she socked him in the stomach, happy to see him, happy he was her brother. Then he said to me, let's get out of this educational junk. Let's go on one of the rides or something. I can't stand this stuff. And now they're trying to tell me he's missing. Missing? Who's missing? Not him. He's at the World's Fair. I know just where to find him. I know exactly where he is. Phoebe knows too. She would know in a minute. What is this missing stuff? How long does it take you to get from your house to 42nd Street? Fergie wants to know from the Valentine Avenue kid. Valentine Avenue thinks it over a little excitedly. From my house, he informs intensely, to the Paramount Theater takes exactly 44 minutes by subway. I nearly won $2 betting with my girl on that. Only I wouldn't take her dough. The man who likes Memphis and Dallas better than Miami speaks up. I hope all these girls tonight ain't chicken. I mean, kids. They look at me like I was an old guy when they're chicken. I watch out that I don't perspire too much, says Fergie. Those here GI dances are really hot. The women don't like it if you perspire too much. My wife don't even like it when I perspire too much. It's all right when she perspires. That's different. Women, they drive you nuts. A colossal burst of thunder. All of us jump, me nearly falling off the truck. I get off the protection strap and the boy from Valentine Avenue squeezes against Fergie to make room for me. A very drawly voice speaks up from the front of the truck. Y'all ever been to Atlanta? Everybody is waiting for more thunder. I answer, No, I say. Atlanta's a good town. Suddenly, the lieutenant from Special Services appears from nowhere, soaking wet, sticking his head inside the truck. 4 of these men must go. He wears oilskin covers on his visored cap. It looks like a unicorn's bladder. His face is even wet. It is a small-featured young face, not yet altogether sure of the new command in it, issued to him by the government. He sees my stripes where the sleeves of my striped raincoat with all my letters should be. You in charge, huh, Sergeant? Wow, choose your pant nose. Yes, sir. How many men in here? I'd better get a recount, sir. I turn around and say, All right, all you men with matches handy, light 'em up. I want to count heads. And 4 or 5 of the men manage to burn matches simultaneously. I pretend to count heads. 34, including me, sir, I tell him finally. The young lieutenant in the rain shakes his head. Too many, he informs me, and I try to look very stupid. I called up every orderly room myself, he reveals for my benefit, and distinctly gave orders that only 5 men from each squadron were supposed to go. I pretend to see the gravity of the situation for the first time. I might suggest that we shoot 4 of the men. We might ask for a detail of men experienced in shooting people who want to go to dances. The lieutenant asks me, Do you know Ms. Jackson, Sergeant? I know who she is, I say as the men listen without taking drags on their cigarettes. Well, Miss Jackson called me this morning and asked for just 30 men even. I'm afraid, Sergeant, we'll have to ask 4 of the men to go back to their areas. He looks away from me, looks deeper into the truck, establishing a neutrality for himself in the soaking dark. I don't care how it's done. I look cross-eyed at the men. How many of you did not sign up for this dance? Don't look at me, says Valentine Avenue. I signed up. Who didn't sign up? I say. Who just came along because somebody told them about it? That's cute, Sergeant. Keep it up. Make it snappy, Sergeant, says the lieutenant, letting his head drip inside the truck. Come on now. Who didn't sign up? Come on now. Who didn't sign up? I never heard such a gross question in my life. Heck, we all signed up, Sarge, says Valentine's Avenue. The thing is, around 7 guys signed up in my squadron. All right, I'll be brilliant. I'll offer a handsome alternative. Who's willing to take in a movie on the field instead? No response. Response. Silently, Porter, the Memphis Dallas man, gets up and moves towards the way out. The men adjust their legs to let him go by. I move aside too. None of us tells Porter, as he passes, what a relatively big, important stuff he is. More response. One side, says Fergie, getting up. So the married guys will write letters tonight. He jumps out of the truck quickly. I wait. We all wait. No one else comes forward. 2 more, I croak. I'll hound them. I'll hound these men because I hate their guts. They're all being insufferably stupid. What's the matter with them? Do they think they'll have a terrific time at this sticky little dance? Do they think they're going to hear a fine trumpet take a chorus of Marie? What's the matter with these idiots? What's the matter with me? Why do I want them all to go? Why do I sort of want to go myself? Sort of. What a joke. You're aching to go, Caulfield. All right, I say coldly. The first 2 men on the left. Come on out. I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. Phew. The noisy guy, who has been yelling at me to get this show on the road, starts coming out. I had forgotten he was sitting just there, but he disappears awkwardly into the India ink storm. He is followed, as though tentatively, by a smaller man, a boy, it proves in the light. His overseas cap on crooked and limp with wet, his eyes on the lieutenant, the boy waits in the rain as though obeying an order. He is very young, probably 18, and he doesn't look like the tiresome sort of kid who argues and argues after the whistle's blown. I stare at him, and the lieutenant turns around and stares at him too. I was on the list. I signed up when the fella tacked it up. Right when he tacked it up. Sorry, soldier, says the lieutenant. Ready, Sergeant? You can ask Ostrander, the boy tells the lieutenant, and sticks his head in the truck. Hey, Ostrander, wasn't I first fella on the list? The rain comes down harder than ever, it seems. The boy who wants to go to the dance is getting soaked. I reach out a hand and flip up his raincoat collar. Wasn't I first on the list? The boy tells Ostrander. What list? Says Ostrander. The list for fellas that want to go to the dance, yells the boy. Oh, says Ostrander. What about it? I was on it. Oh, Ostrander, you insidious boor. Wasn't I the first on it? Says the boy, his voice breaking. I don't know, says Ostrander. How should I know? The boy turns wildly to the lieutenant. I was the first one on it, honest. This fella in our squadron, this foreign guy that works in the orderly room, he tacked it up and I signed it right off. The first fella. The lieutenant says, dripping, Get in. Get in the truck, boy. The boy climbs back into the truck, and the men quickly make room for him. The lieutenant turns to me and asks, Sergeant, where can I use a telephone around here? Well, post engineer, sir. I'll show you. We wade through the rivers of red bog over to post engineers. Mama, the lieutenant says into the mouthpiece. Buddy, I'm fine. Yes, Mama. Yes, Mama. I'm fixing to be. Maybe Sunday, if I get off, like they said, Mama. Is Sarah Jane home? Well, how about let me talk to her? Yes, Mama. I will if I can, Mama. Maybe Sunday. The lieutenant talks again. Sarah Jane? Fine, fine. I'm fixing to. I told Mama maybe Sunday if I get off. Listen, Sarah Jane, you got a date tonight? It sure is pretty bad. It sure is. Listen, Sarah Jane, how's the car? You get that thing fixed? That's fine, that's fine. That's mighty cheap with the plugs and all. The lieutenant's voice changes. It becomes casual. Sarah Jane, listen, I want you to drive over to Ms. Jackson's tonight. Well, it's like this. I got these boys here for one of these parties Ms. Jackson gives, you know? Only this is what I want to tell you. There's one boy too many. Yes. Yes. Yes, I know that, Sarah Jane. I know that. I know it's raining. Yes. Yes. The lieutenant's voice gets very sure and hard suddenly. He says into the mouthpiece, I ain't asking you, girl. I'm telling you. Now I want you to drive over to Ms. Jackson's right quick, yeah? I don't care. All right. All right. I'll see y'all later. He hangs up. Drenched to the bone of loneliness, the bone of silence, we plod back to the truck. Where are you, Holden? Never mind the missing stuff. Stop playing around. Show up. Show up somewhere. Hear me? It's simply because I remember everything. I can't forget anything that's good. That's why. So listen, just go up to somebody, some officer or some GI, and tell them you're here. Not missing, not dead, not anything, but here. Stop kidding around. Stop letting people think you're missing. Stop wearing my robe to the beach. Stop taking the shots on my side of the court. Stop whistling. Sit up to the table.